My dear father.
Hello and welcome to Will Watches. This is Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. So I'm not actually too familiar with the Pinocchio story. I do think I watched the Disney one as a kid, but it was so long ago. I kind of have these like vague memories of maybe like certain scenes. Like I can quite clearly see the scene where he like turns into a donkey and a shadow. I can like envision that in my head, but there's probably some plot points and things that I've forgotten here, and I do know this introduces some new characters that aren't in the original. I don't know if they're in the book, but I know they're not in the Disney film. I do know like the broad idea, obviously the nose grows when he lies, and it's Geppetto building him, creating a boy, and he wants to become a real boy, and there's like the getting eaten by a whale and all of that. And I did see a tiny bit of the live action remake that came out this year as well. It was just on in the background when I was around a friend's house. This is like the third Pinocchio film that's come out this year, which is kind of crazy. It's weird how things like that happen, right? So before we jump into this, be sure to check out the Patreon page. Over there you can find 1 week early access, so you can get next week's video right now. You can also find polls, so you can vote for what's next, and you can find a full-length timer-based version of this where you just sync up your own footage and you can watch along with me. So yeah, let's just jump right in.
Geppetto lost Carlo during the Great War. They'd been together only 10 years.
Already loving the music. Oh, this is lovely.
I saw some planes!
Oh, did you?
I was worried they were going to be bomber planes.
Because they are like long noses, visible to all but the teller of the lie.
Oh, that's cool. Visible to everyone but the teller of the lie. I've never heard that before.
Sing me Mama's song so I can sleep. Please, Papa?
All right.
Yeah, I'm guessing he lost the mum as well. So after losing his son, he's just left with nothing at all.
For me?
You are my favorite thing. Better than sunset, better than spring.
So they said he was lost in the war, but like, how did it happen?
Magnificent job, Geppetto. Thank you.
You can already tell some of these designs are really unsettling. Like that vicar there. You can tell there's like a darkness to come. I know Guillermo, he like respects children as his audience, you know, he can go a bit darker with it.
A model Italian citizen.
And such a good father.
Everyone's really hyping him up. But we know he kind of has like a, well, obviously he kind of has a downward spiral after losing Carlo. Oh, that's lovely with the light coming in through the stained glass.
Is it almost time to go home?
Almost.
I've noticed when the characters speak, there isn't like a visible line around their mouth or like a seam on their eyes when they swap in new mouths. So I wonder if they replace the whole head, or is it like a model where they can actually move the mouth?
What's that sound, Papa? Is it a plane?
Not a good plane.
Go home to a warm fire and hot soup.
Can we have some hot chocolate too?
Sure,
It
sure.
seems like a...
Oh, he's left his pine cone. Is he gonna go back for it?
It was later said that Geppetto's little town was not even a target.
Oh, he was just incidental. Oh, he's gonna keep the pine cone as a memory. I was wondering like how much they were gonna show there. The way Carlo, he was looking up, I was wondering like, are they gonna show the bomb coming through the roof, you know? That fire looks great as well. Oh, he buries the pine cone for him. Oh yeah, and it is a wooden grave. I guess you wouldn't call it a tombstone if it's wood like that.
And the church's crucifix remained unfinished.
Oh yeah, I just thought for a second that imagine if the crucifix remained like undamaged.
The world moved on,
But new life is sprouting.
but Geppetto did not.
Oh wow. I mean, knowing how slow trees grow, that must be like 15, 20 years.
And for years I'd been looking for the ideal conditions to set my illustrious, fascinating life story to paper.
Is this Ewan McGregor? I feel like I'm trying to think of if I know anyone, any of the cast, but it sounds like him. So he takes refuge in that tree.
Stridulations of My Youth by Sebastian J. Cricket.
So you go by Sebastian, not Jiminy, his middle name.
I've learned that there are old spirits living in the mountains.
Oh, that's a cool, it's like an eyeball. Yeah, it's a cool design.
What are my antennas?
Is he cutting down the tree?
I'll make Carlo.
Yeah, he's gonna make him out of the tree. Okay. I didn't realize a second ago, Pinocchio, you kind of sounds like Pine Carlo, you know?
It's a house of horrors!
I've seen, you know, the different scale models that they have for Pinocchio. They have that giant one that's almost like life size to get, you know, really close in with the details. So much effort, you know, it's stop motion. There's always so much effort that goes into them. It's always so great. Oh, poor Carlo's head, yeah. Yeah, directly modeled off of him. I do wonder if it is the same voice actor for Pinocchio and for Carlo.
I will finish you tomorrow.
Oh, it wasn't finished. Oh yeah, see, look at this. They must have had a huge one, then had Sebastian as a smaller model on top. Oh, look at this. Like an angel with all of these eyes. Be not afraid, child, yeah.
Excuse me, can I help you? This is my home we're talking about.
Was there a little hole where his heart is? Maybe Sebastian can jump in there and live there.
Perhaps you can help me
Help you what?
to watch over him, guide him to be good.
Oh, the eyes blinking as well.
Take on this responsibility, and I will grant you one wish.
Oh, does he use that to make him a real boy right at the end, though?
Pinocchio, may you rise with the sun and wander the earth.
I wonder what Geppetto hadn't finished with him yet, though. Was it just he wanted to paint him or something? Oh, he's gonna think someone's stolen him. I love the kind of dirtiness of the animation in a way, like the kind of grunge and grit, all of the dirt on his hands and everything. Like under his fingernails, yeah. And like even his beard, they've like, what's it called when you wash it and then wipe it away? I'm forgetting what that's called in painting. Where you do like a dark wash and then it fills in the little cracks and then you like wipe it away. Oh, I love the light again. There's some real cool uses of light here. Look at that, trying to make Pinocchio all creepy. Oh yeah, the way he's moving.
Sorcery!
You wanted me to live. You asked for me to live.
He's still like getting used to his body a bit. Oh! Yeah, that could have been close.
All the things my eyes can see.
No, get away from me.
Everything is new.
Yeah, you still gotta come to terms with it.
What do you call it? Call it
It's a clock.
Yeah, he's still got so much to learn.
to me.
I love the way the light is working with his model as well. How it's like coming through some of the thinner bits as well. He's just like a bull in a china shop though, isn't he?
Chamber pot.
What to do with it,
With stop motion, there's just this great like tactility with it. Like you could fully imagine this. I like really want Pinocchio as a toy now, and obviously he was like an actual model, an actual toy. I did see on Twitter someone complaining that there isn't any toys of him and there's only a pop Funko. I don't know if that's true or not.
No, he told you to stay.
I'm going to church. I'm going.
Now you gotta learn to listen to your dad.
My dear father.
I thought it was going back into another song. Oh, yeah, you can see the murals changed. And have they ever fixed the church, the big hole in it? You know, as much as it's awful that the church got destroyed, it is really cool looking with the giant gaping hole in it.
I made of flesh and bone and meaty bits. I'm a real boy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's cool. It's like a branch, the way it grows.
Take that unholy thing away. Take it away now!
Oh, can't they say... It's so weird what people like pick and choose is witchcraft or not. Like another interpretation would be this is some miracle from God that's brought this boy to life, you know?
Stop fidgeting, please.
It's funny how frustrated with him Geppetto is at first here actually. I thought he'd be overjoyed to have a son again, but he's got to grow into that, I guess. Yeah, I'm surprised it's like fully going there. They're showing the armband, but not the symbol on the armband.
Starving to death.
You are not. Now go sit by the fire.
Don't get too close to the fire though.
Yes, I will obey if I get chocolate. Oh boy, oh boy.
Can't even taste it. The way he moves is so cool.
My feet feel hot, like chocolate. Look.
Yeah.
Oh, look what you did, Papa. You ruined the nice light on my
He needs to carve him some new feet and legs now.
school.
You can see there's like parts of his eyes so they can swap in the different eye parts.
Better? Can I have cricket legs, Papa? Can you make me 4 of them?
Don't want to make him any more strange than he already is to outsiders.
Good night, my. Good night.
Yeah. Almost said my boy.
Where did he put him? How can you lose a whole...
He doesn't even know the concept of death at this point, does he?
Not about my own life, for a change, but about...
And you can see the light coming out of his heart. Him turning in his night must be disruptful for Sebastian. I do love the design on Pinocchio. There's like a crack in the wood where he's got some like staples in his head and he's got that twig coming out.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, I love these new legs, Papa. Can we go to the carnival?
Oh, he's finally fixing the crucifix. That's a new arm for him. Oh yeah, that's all painted, like a matte background there.
A what?
Are you absolutely sure?
Yeah, it'd be great for their carnival, wouldn't it?
My show was a magnet for the crowd. No one could resist.
It's not that high. That guy can just drop from there. Come on.
More. That's it. That's it. Just a little more. Stop.
Yeah, you can see before he had already kind of designed it to be modular, so parts could be replaced.
Then I have something I'd like to give you.
Oh, the storybook from before.
I love it, I love it, I love it!
Does he even know what it is?
What is it? I will be just like Carlo. I will obey and go to school, and I will be the very, very best at...
Yeah, I do wonder how they do the mouth on Pinocchio himself, because there's no like clear seam or anything. So do they replace the whole face bit? Or the whole head? Or do they digitally remove the seam?
Oh, yeah. I promised my papa I'd go to school. See? He gave me Carlo's book.
I do wonder how they're doing Sebastian here with him being so tiny. Are they just like superimposing him, or do they have like, a giant model of Pinocchio and the tiny Sebastian?
As they bow at your feet.
My brand new feet.
No, wait!
I thought he would maybe just come in and say, oh yeah, we'll take you to this school over here, the carnival school.
Oh, the pain.
Yeah, they've even squashed him down a little bit.
But he left this morning. I sent him there.
Obviously, the puppet is quite a dissident. An independent thinker, I'd say.
Don't like independent thinkers, yeah.
If you on. Puppets are well respected in every station of life.
Oh, they're putting the strings on. I thought they'd keep the strings off him to make it like even more magical. Okay, yeah.
My gum, I put my bubble gum.
Yeah, isn't it? There are no strings on me. One of the songs. Is it bad that I know that from Age of Ultron?
Over there. Oh.
Yeah, they really got Sebastian there, didn't they?
10 bandits came out of the bushes and took...
Oh yeah, can't lie.
Then why is your nose growing?
It's not!
I love the effect of the nose growing. It's not just growing longer, it's like expanding like a tree, growing like a tree.
I made him, and I discovered him. He's not your puppet.
Yeah, this car approaching, it's not good.
That was so much fun, Papa!
At least you can just rebuild him. I was worried Geppetto would fall in front of it or something.
Thou art gone, thy life has fled.
Oh, look at this. The rib cage coming through with these rabbits.
I thought he was dead. He is dead. I saw the paperwork myself.
No more.
This is like an afterlife we're seeing.
The wooden boy with the borrowed soul. My sister's folly.
Oh yeah, I did think sounds and looks a lot like the other spirit. So is it the same soul as Carlo? She said a borrowed soul.
Don't get me wrong. You will die many, many times.
But you won't stay dead. That the ceiling design here, the like space is really cool.
You will stay here with me a little longer each time you cross.
Oh, okay. So every time he dies, he has to wait longer to come back.
There's not much we can do. I'm afraid the body is rigid.
But he's always been rigid. He's made of wood.
Yeah, exactly. What can you even do? You're a carpenter, not a doctor.
A dead body? Where?
Pinocchio, you're alive.
He is immortal! Long live...
Oh yeah, him being immortal, that's not a good thing. Him being so excited about that.
Future Our country comes first. This boy cannot...
Yeah, it's the perfect soldier. If they could make us an army of immortal soldiers, that'd be awful.
War took Carlo away from me. We all have to obey the law, whether we like it or not.
Why?
Yeah, there's just so much he doesn't understand.
I made you to be like Carlo. Why can't you be more like Carlo? You are such a burden.
Oh. And that's what Sebastian was saying earlier. The burden of death. I've noticed that he doesn't have an ear on that one side. It's only on one side he has an ear.
His nose didn't grow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's bad for him because he can never tell who's actually telling the truth because he thinks everyone's nose will grow. But can't he see the carnival manager? He's already got a long nose. He's been lying a lot. Ooh. That was very close. Sebastian just can't get a break.
He's gone to the carnival.
Yeah, there's like shots like that where they had to build like that giant hand just for that one shot.
Hey! Where are you going?
After my son.
That was getting through to him. Yeah, he's off on his adventure.
I've got the whole world to see. You are.
Farewell, my papa.
I love this montage with the song over the top. Yeah, the thing is, he doesn't have the enthusiasm he had before. Is that his son being recruited? Yeah. Oh, he's being a soldier in part of his performance as well. Oh, it's all propaganda. Okay, yeah. It feels like there's definitely gonna have to be some difficult conversations parents are gonna have to have with their kids after this, depending on how old they are when they're watching this. I mean, you can probably just say to your kids that when people do that salute, that's something that evil people do. But then Geppetto does do it as well, so you probably need to explain that nuance as well.
Our fearless leader, Il Duce Benito Mussolini.
I'm surprised they like name dropped Mussolini earlier with the poster, but he's like actually going to be a character in this perhaps.
Can I take a moment to rest?
No, no rest whatsoever.
And does he even need to rest?
Why not go home and visit your papa for a while? This is no place for you.
But this is the monkey saying this to him. Obviously, we've seen the monkey is jealous, so he's just trying to sabotage him.
Count Volpe wouldn't lie to me. I'm his star.
But that's just, yeah, testing his loyalty.
My dear father, love to say.
Oh, we are gonna get his song. See the whale. Yeah, so he's just gonna keep getting interrupted every time he tries to sing his song. Oh, look at that. It's a cool design. All of the designs have been really cool. It's Guillermo del Toro, of course they are. Yeah, he didn't get any taller.
I wrote this number just for you.
I like a puppets.
He's wrote this number just for you if Pinocchio ruins it somehow, yeah.
Stop extra special for the all-important Dolce tonight. I got some real good ideas.
Yeah, whatever he's doing, I hope it's a real embarrassment for the puppet master. I mean, El Duce could just get him executed, like...
Shoot him!
Yeah.
Oh, hi, it's me.
Is he even aware what happened, though? What got him killed?
As I see it, you were charged with a terrible burden.
Huh? A burden?
No, he's not a burden, though. He has a burden. His immortality.
I don't understand.
Oh, his time's running out again. I'm really liking how this is dealing with like death and grief really maturely as well.
We have but one life to give for our fatherland, but you have no limit.
But there is the time limit each time for him to come back.
You'll return home a hero. Any father would be proud of such a son.
Oh, and Candlewick's a bit jealous, yeah.
I love war.
I love it more.
I love it 24/7.
His nose isn't growing. Yeah, his nose wasn't growing there. That's because he's like convinced himself, I guess.
Sometimes fathers feel despair. And they say things they only think they mean in the moment.
I was expecting this like depth for Candlewick as well. That would just be like, you know, the rival. But it seems like they're going to be good friends now.
No matter who is on the other team, they are your enemy.
Oh, it's going to pitch the two against each other. Yeah, if Pinocchio wins, Candlewick's going to be even more disappointed. But then if Pinocchio loses, that's his like ultimate weapon not working as well. But like, maybe Pinocchio will just let Candlewick win to be nice, because it's the nice thing to do. Because he's still just seeing this like as a game. Yeah, they're both just kind of having fun. When it's the training like this, yeah, it is fun, but they don't realise what they're getting themselves in for.
Take your glory, son. Shoot the puppet!
Oh, and now it's, yeah, it's really starting.
You are no son of mine!
Candlewick!
Oh, what are they up to? Oh, right in the eye, though. Oh, he's not gonna get, yeah, hit by a bomb. What about Candlewick too? Okay. But Candlewick did just like inadvertently kill his own father there. Oh, got him hung up on a cross, but he's not doing the arms.
Bonjour, mon étoile.
No! Where's Candlewick?
Yeah, if they burn him alive, can he actually come back from that? Because there won't be a body for him to return to.
Burn bright! Like a star!
That's hot!
The effect on the fire is so cool.
Ow!
Oh, he is helping, yeah, I was wondering, would it be Candlewick or would it be Spezzatura? He's definitely gonna end up pulling in the water, yeah. Oh! I meant Pinocchio. Maybe not. Spezzatura fell up as well. Okay, yeah. Spezzatura's fine in that water. I'm surprised they actually showed him like hitting that rock there.
Will I ever see my Papa again?
That's a cool effect on the water. I wonder how they animated that. It looked almost like bubble wrap or like a film or something.
Look! An island!
Oh yeah, that's not an island. I mean, they'll be reunited now with Geppetto at least. We still haven't seen like the full design of this whale though. I want to see it in its entirety, you know? Oh, it's stomach acid. They're not gonna start to like slowly melt here, are they? Like Geppetto was fine because he was up in the boat. Oh wow, a full lighthouse.
Pinocchio! Pinocchio. But we'll never reach it. It's too far.
Pinocchio can help.
Yeah, he can lie, extend his nose, of course.
Lie, my boy.
Yes, that's it. Lie.
We're formed into like a full tree.
I want to be trapped here forever and ever and ever.
How is Pinocchio gonna get across though? Yeah, it's gonna make him sneeze maybe.
Oh dear, yeah.
Oh, okay. I like how, you know, it's not just a regular whale, it's like this weird monster.
I got you, son.
That was cool. Climbing up it while it's falling, yeah. Maybe breaking the laws of gravity a bit, but it was cool. Oh? Yeah, just all of that air pressure from the sneeze. Yeah, I'm just gonna say you gotta be careful with the mines though. So they're just gonna blow it all up. What a forehead on this fish as well.
Spezzatura, you can do it.
I did see that clip of the live action remake where Pinocchio, he does a dash from The Incredibles, doesn't he? Oh! Up the waterfall. I guess Pinocchio just sacrificed himself. I hope he, I mean, he'll respawn, won't he?
There are dire consequences.
Oh.
If you were to go back now, so soon, you would become mortal.
But isn't that kind of what he wants? He wants to be a real boy. He wants to be mortal at some point.
I don't care! Send me back!
That kind of contradicts the curse of the immortality a bit. Him being able to choose whenever he wants to be mortal, you know, you just kill yourself and then go back instantly and be mortal. Yeah, doesn't have the limbs to swim properly. You gotta spin him round so his head can come up at least. He's been face down this whole time? That's not great. My lifeguard training is just like screaming, like doing it all wrong.
Pinocchio.
Wait, he didn't die a second time saving him like that, did he?
Like last time. Get up. You're fine. You...
But Sebastian still has his wish. He can bring him back as a real boy too. Yeah, when can he claim his wish? Like, when is that fully fulfilled, his end of the contract?
In this world, you get what you give, remember? And this boy gave... well, he gave everything he could.
Yeah, he gave life, so he should get it back.
And you know why? Because he was good.
I mean, he was always good. He always was pure-hearted, had good intentions, even if he messed up.
Well, gosh darn it. I wish him back to life.
Is he still going to be a wooden puppet back to life? Or will he be a real boy, you know?
I was trying to make you someone you were not.
Yeah, trying to make him Carlo.
Be exactly who you are.
Oh, he's lost his ear. And that was the ear that he moulded after Carlo's ear. Yeah, a bit of symbolism.
One winter morning, Pinocchio found me by the window.
Oh, really?
Ventured into the world. And the world, I believe, embraced him back. I've not heard of him in quite a while.
Oh, there we go. There's a branch.
What happens, happens. And then we are gone.
Yeah, so they never actually like made him a real boy in the end there, but he's still a real boy in the sense, you know, he's still full of emotion and everything that makes a person a person. Yeah, we know there is, you know, an afterlife. Oh, there we go, there we go. Okay, so that was Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. That was a really great, mature story about death and grief. It's clear that he respects his audience to understand these mature themes. I always think, you know, just because something has a primarily child target audience, it doesn't need to hold back necessarily. Of course, there's some things you can't show kids, but kids are more capable than you think of being able to understand and process these more difficult feelings, and the movie kind of teaches them how to process that as well, doesn't it? Because if a child is only taught, you know, surface level things and then does lose a loved one, how could they ever, you know, begin to process that? This is like a helpful tool really for a lot of kids if they have lost a loved one too. And you know, it's clear that it doesn't hold back on the concept of death. It shows death quite clearly with Geppetto, with Sebastian at the end there. The amount of times that Pinocchio dies as well. I wasn't sure what age rating this was, but yeah, it is just PG, parental guidance. I was thinking maybe it might be like a little bit higher. I don't know. I don't think they could have made it a 12 though. That seems a bit too high, but it handles it all really well with a lot of nuance. I think, yeah, you just have to respect your audience, you know. Of course, the stop motion is just amazing. I love a good bit of stop motion, all of the backgrounds, all the detail. I love Pinocchio, his like actual design himself. He's got like the one ear, the little twig coming out of his head, the like staples holding him together. It was really cool. I have seen that on Netflix there is like a behind the scenes bit as well, and I am always super curious when I'm watching these stop motion films how they are going, so I might actually react to that as well and pop that at the end of this video too. But it's not just about the death and the grief that it's mature about, you know, is teaching you the kids to be wary of who they trust. Stranger danger, of course, with the carnival and all of that. You know, Pinocchio, he was so young and innocent, he really didn't know the world, did he? So he just jumped straight into that, like, oh, that sounds fun, I won't go to school, I'll join the carnival. And then of course he gets roped in with the whole war thing. I was hoping we'd see where Candlewick ended up there. I guess his arc did kind of complete with his dad dying, but it did feel like I just wanted a little bit more of him to see where his situation is right now. That would have been quite cool, perhaps, to have when Pinocchio was off into the world, for them to meet up, maybe. I'm not sure if that was really necessary though. I liked the ending here. I don't think extending that ending would have been great. I liked the way it ended itself here with the pinecone falling, but I do wish we maybe saw Candlewick, what he got up to, because I did think Candlewick was going to be the one to save him when he was like on that cross before, but it was Spazzatura who did that. And I like Spazzatura, you know, had that bit of redemption. So I'm making the assumption here that this is kind of more faithful to the original story than the Disney adaptation, because I know there are some things in the Disney adaptation that didn't happen in this, like when they get turned into donkeys, right, and they all get drunk. I did see the bit of the live action remake where they call it, they say it's root beer and not actual beer. So they kind of got rid of all of that, and I don't know what it was called, that like fun fair carnival where they were, but they kind of got rid of that. I don't know if that was something that was in the original story and was cut out of here, maybe for time or just budget, something like that, or they didn't think it was necessary, or was it something that Disney had made for like originally, and then it kind of like, from my memory of kind of like the pacing of the original story, did they kind of replace that with all of the war stuff going on here? But maybe the one in the Disney one, that was kind of an analogy for war, and this one they just like straight up showed, you know, this boot camp for the kids. Maybe that's the case, I'm not quite sure there. Maybe you can fill me in on the details, because I'm not like too familiar with the story of Pinocchio. I mean, this film is definitely quite emotional. There's a lot of things to process for the audience. I was definitely tearing up at the end there with Geppetto like grieving over the body. I didn't realize, you know, Pinocchio, he came back and he gave up his immortality to become mortal, but then he drowned just saving Geppetto. That didn't click. But there's some things where I was wondering like how the rules of it work, I guess. Like, he doesn't have lungs, so it didn't click to me that he could even drown, you know? I do like the kind of symbolism or message of him not actually becoming a real boy. Like, he doesn't become like flesh and bone, but he becomes a real boy in the sense of like he's earned it, you know. He has the emotions of a real human, doesn't he? And he is matured in that way since the beginning, when he was really naive. You know, obviously he came into this world with no knowledge at all. His body, you know, is probably like a 12-year-old or something, but really he is like a newborn. Like, if a newborn was able to walk around and speak, there's no experience behind him. You know, he doesn't know what fire is. He doesn't know what hammers are. He had that first song at the start where he didn't really know. I didn't actually know there was any musical sequences in this up until yesterday, where I saw someone say like, oh, I didn't realize there were musical sequences in this, but they were really good. And yeah, they were. I really like Pinocchio himself, like his singing voice. It really portrays that kind of innocence of him. And I did look up the cast after, and he is played by like an actual child, so it makes sense. But there's that scene where he is singing for the carnival, and we are seeing Geppetto, you know, going out on his adventure trying to find him, and the lyrics are about the father. That was really great. That montage was really great. So I'm always really curious with the animation, how they do it. So I'm going to jump into the behind the scenes little video they have on Netflix too, and let's hear Guillermo himself talk about the process.
Animation has become, in the minds of the consumers, a genre. But it also is an art.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a genre, is it? It can be any genre.
What's going to make us unique is bringing Guillermo's live action aesthetic to this movie.
Yeah, Guillermo, he does have this really iconic art style, doesn't he?
The outsider aspect of Pinocchio is what attracted me to the story.
Yeah, look at the scale of these models.
Either creatures like the creature of Frankenstein or Pinocchio.
I do want just like a little toy like that.
It took about 15 years to do Pinocchio, and we had to assemble.
15 years? I'm guessing that's like start to finish.
I have been supporting Mexican animation since the 80s. And we wanted to have a link with Mexico.
Oh, that's really cool.
Because that demonstrates the great artistry and technical capacity.
I mean, like, I never noticed any difference, but it could have all been filmed in the same location. I wouldn't have known. There was never like a lapse in the animation at all. There was like one moment with the whale when it exploded, and when Pinocchio was like on the tooth, where it's kind of like, it seemed like it was lower resolution a little bit. Like, that might just be like a capability of the scale that they were working in, you know?
Even the atmospheric dust on the sets and the imperfection of it was so gorgeous to look at because it told.
Yeah, that's what makes it realistic.
Piece of animation, an artisanal, beautiful exercise.
Oh, you could see maybe a bit of how they did Pinocchio there. It was like maybe his full face that they took off. That was cool as well, Carlo on the swing.
And how much does it weigh? I mean, that's even a thing we have to consider.
Yeah, because if it weighs too much, like, you can't extend an arm and it'll fall itself, you know, wouldn't it?
Guillermo really wanted this to be mechanical rather than replacement.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
Every mouth shape is a separate face mask that sits on the puppet's face. Pinocchio is replacement because he's a wooden boy.
Yeah, it's easier to do the replacement for him.
I think that was like a stroke of genius when we all came up with that. I was like, yes!
It's great to hear from all of the animators as well.
As a feature film would demand of the puppet of that size.
I just want to like hold that puppet, you know?
It fully printed out of a 3D printer.
Oh, it's 3D printed. Okay.
You know, Geppetto works so well because he's got a big moustache and a big beard and heavy eyebrows.
Yeah, very expressive.
The more smooth the face, the harder it is to make those expressions change.
Yeah, I just think the mouth, I think especially with the kids, it was a bit difficult.
And the idea that you animate mistakes.
He was really stressing the realism of...
Yeah, that's like a detail you wouldn't think about, the little mistake. We're not closing the door the first time.
I said, if the character is thinking, I want to see the eyes inputting the information.
Yeah.
And it gives them a lot of power to think through the puppet.
Filming these background bits as well takes so much effort and time too. They're filming each frame of the actual movie, but then they're filming another frame of the animator changing things, you know? It's like double the amount of time.
A good and quick way to do that is just film yourself. So the animator would turn up.
Yeah, using it for reference. I wonder if was the voices recorded just in a studio, or did they do what Wes Anderson did for Fantastic Mr. Fox, where they filmed it like in that environment?
We have to take him to a place where he's not pleasant. I mean, this guy drinks, this guy gets angry.
Yeah, it does deal with that kind of alcoholism too.
I said, I really think this should be the guy. Can we make him the main antagonist?
Yeah, so they swapped them over. I noticed the other guy's design.
We finished making him, and he's now a background character for the circus.
Yeah, at least I didn't chuck it all away, all of that work and time they did.
He's really fun because he's kind of the devil. He's very transactional. He's just...
Oh yeah, even in his hair, the shape, they're like horns.
He uses the hands a lot to explain, to, you know.
Yeah, and he's got his 4 hands, so he can be even more expressive.
And you get a message back. Guillermo's seen it. It's got to look dirty.
Wanted to embody the form.
Oh yeah, he's got that paint splatter on his leg there.
In terms of scale, we use different size of puppets for different needs.
Yeah, this is the clever scene of this giant Pinocchio.
And then in certain shots, we use this small Pinocchio.
Oh.
Then we have this.
Yeah, the other size crickets.
Have really good control over him. And then everybody else's scale is in relation to that. And then the sets are in relation to that.
Yeah, and keeping everything to scale and the scale realistic is really important too. You know, you could just accidentally make it, you know, a few times too small when it just looks off.
All the structures in the town had the remnants of their origins, like medieval ruins, and then on top of that you have 18th century carvings, and then you have...
Yeah, it's so cool seeing them all do this. I studied architecture at university, so I had to build a lot of models of buildings as well, so it's really cool seeing all of this.
The animator has to actually be able to get in and reach the puppets and animate, so we have to design these sets.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it all has to be modular.
To be completed, so the woodwork would be a little ladder than the frescoes on the walls or the stained glass windows.
Yeah, all of that attention to detail, how the aging changes, yeah.
We were able to have a torch with LED lights inside the torch, so that as Volpe moves the torch, light.
Yeah, so that light is realistic, yeah.
Separate passes.
You will burn! Burn bright! Like a star!
The way his coat moves in the wind too there is really cool.
And I went, I would do anything. I would play a pencil in a movie for you.
Yeah, she just does the squawks and the squeals of the monkey.
I think there's something of Guillermo's laugh that's in Spazzatura. You can feel the songs coming up. It's almost like the dialogue is a ramp for the music.
Yeah, they're very natural, like built in there. It doesn't feel like a moment to create a music video from, you know.
For the whole film, I've chosen to use only wood instruments.
That's really cool.
This movie you could watch in a double program with Pans and Devil's Backbone easily.
I really need to watch Pan's Labyrinth. Okay, so it's always so great seeing the behind the scenes and how things like this come to life. That was so great. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, consider leaving a like or a comment. If you really loved it, be sure to subscribe so you can keep up to date on all the future uploads. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.